Recently, he got show me, right, his security camera, right? A lot of people go there, kids, go there, press doorbell.
Serious?
Keep pressing doorbell, knock, in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Serious?
Some even come with the parents, you know. Okay, people there are a little bit weird, and they are generally a little bit more rude, rushing, always on the phone, screaming, shouting for no reason. I really very confused there. Don't take my advice.
No, that's damn good advice, guys. Just take it when they fail, right? Then you quote Ryan. No! 我一定对他是 Rado King 哎。
I do this show, yeah. Today episode, we're gonna bring back a sequel because our very first time we did with Charlie and Jervis about the property, right? Correct. A lot of our audience have a lot of questions.
Correct. I also have a lot of questions, which is why this time I'm here.
So we invited Charlie back again. So today we are going to explore, right, the different type of houses like HDB lah, condo lah, rental lah, this type of thing lah. You all seem to have a lot of questions lately.
Of course. Nowadays, the age getting not so young. Must start to look already,
Yeah. So HDB, I think is within our range one.
This sofa.
Oh, yeah, within this sofa range.
This sofa.
Is it condo one?
No,
I joined HDB.
Yeah,
by choice. No. This is HDB, but no choice.
couple of months he will go to condo.
So I just sold my HDB also lah. Yeah, I just sold my HDB.
Let's jump onto the first question. The first guy is YJ.
We call him Ing Jin.
Wait, what's your Chinese name again?
Jin Ing. Opposite.
Okay, so he said, I currently live in a 3-room flat with 4 other family members and it's starting to feel small for all of us. Upgrading to a 4-room flat would require going through many procedures and processes, and I've been considering moving out. But rent is so expensive these days. Another option is saving up and renovating the house with proper interior designer to make the space more functional so we can all continue living together. What do you suggest?
What do you suggest, Mr. ID?
Always suggest.
Mr. ID say, Mr. Rado King.
Okay.
I always feel if you adult already, you try to live alone, even if it's rental. I think the independence and the freedom you get when you live alone, right, it will teach you a lot about life.
Yeah, I think it forces you to grow up also.
Yeah, it forces you to grow up.
I think it's about the experience lah, because I never been touching into renovation work or like rents, renovations. Then once I touch into it, right, then it's a whole new different world.
Yeah, it's a very.
I'm super interested.
Especially I think when we do a lot of all this house reno, right, when Ben goes see, he like each time he see, he's like, wow, how nice it will be if he have his own space and stuff. Yeah, but I think living alone really helps you grow a lot lah. If you can afford, I will always suggest, right, you go try to rent out.
Yeah.
If you cannot renovate the whole thing, or you cannot afford another house, rent out. Or you rent with some friends, or rent with a girlfriend or whatever thing, right? I think it's a good experience.
I believe that YJ stays in HDB lah. I would say that's why he say very small. He want to upgrade to 4-room.
It's like HDB, F stand for flat.
HDB got no F.
I think he also, this person was saying like, he or she rather continue living together. So that's why he has suggested like, upgrading to a 4-room flat or have a proper interior design to make the space a bit more spacious.
Right.
So maybe you're not considering like staying alone. What would you do? Would you rather upgrade to a 4-room or you renovate to like make it a bit more spacious?
The space is the same one. No matter how, no matter how.
可能他就是like for example my house.
Yeah.
I have a 5-room flat, but very squeezy because the space not
fully utilized.
Yeah, not fully utilized.
I've been to your house. Your house squeezy because you got a lot of clutter everywhere. You clear it's a lot of space. You got one big fish aquarium for what?
Hey, my father like fish cannot. No, but like for example, like hiring ID, right, may help my father to have like this curated space for the fish, because now my fish everywhere. My room got one, my living room got one, my dining room got one. So it's everywhere. So if like a proper ID 帮你 like design like okay maybe this space. Then we have proper space, then it will feel more spacious. So maybe that's what he was trying to figure out.
But why I suggest right you go out and rent alone, right? If he go renovate, right, he will also have another problem. All 4 of them, right, have to go find a short-term stay, right, to stay while they are renovating. Finding a short-term stay is not going to be easy. He would know. I want to look for something like less than 1 year, right? It's so hard to find.
I would say, I mean, it's either you upgrade, because if you're complaining about the space, right, it's too small, right? The space, there's only so much that can be done.
Square feet will not change.
Correct, So if you're asking me, right, I would think if there's a possibility, right, I would say go for the upgrade. Because for like what Ryan said, right, if let's say if you're going to renovate, and then you still need to go and find short-term rental. But let's say if you go and buy, then you sell, right, at least we can plan the timeline for you where it can be seamless, you know, when you can just straight away move in. You won't be homeless, basically you don't have to rent.
I think maybe he was thinking like, if you consider rent versus you consider renovating, which are more expensive?
You know that time when I renovate my current condo, right? He helped me find a renter, ma.
Right.
It's 10 months. Very hard to find 10 months one. 没有人要 rent 10 months one. Usually it's 2 years, right?
Yes.
That 10 months, I spent $43,000. It's already considered cheap because after I move out, they raised the rent to 5,000多了. It's quite crazy. I think a lot of my younger friends, when they go out rent, right, they don't rent the whole unit. Or maybe they share with another friend so for the whole house or what. Then it's manageable. There's a lot of factor to consider, like his income, what's his ultimate goal.
Actually, a lot of things to consider. If you got a girlfriend or not, boyfriend or not, they can split with your other half. That kind of thing.
You would suggest he rent, but for him, for his age, maybe one room should be okay already lah.
Should be lah. Really must see his income. You don't want to be in a situation where you pay your whole salary to the rent.
Correct.
You don't save anything, then you are stuck in an endless cycle. However, on another flip side, I also know people that believe in renting your whole life. Some people also, instead of buying car, they lease their whole life because it means like every few years they can have a change of
Scenery.
scenery.
Yeah.
But expensive.
Actually, it really depends. Depends on the interest rates in Singapore. So usually rental, right, it becomes popular when interest rates go up. So it's expensive to take a loan to buy a property, right? So people choose to rent instead. It can be cheaper if interest rates are high.
But wouldn't the demand increase with the interest
It
rate?
will. So let's say the demand increase, right? Then rental prices will increase.
That's why they got those cooling measures and stuff like that to balance all this. It's the same like why you want to buy car when even if you take Grab every day, it's still cheaper. Some people
Yes,
it's like, So it's just different perspective and see how comfortable you are with the money. So overall, I think we are all in agreement, right, to suggest that ask this guy, YJ, to move out, live on his own. Then he got all the space. His family also got more space. He also grow in the process. I think a lot of pros are. And because you are young, you can take risks. You really can still take risks.
Yep.
Next question by Prawn Me. There are new upcoming developments, EC, like the Park Town at Tampines. Is it a good choice to sell my HDB and buy a new house there? How to evaluate whether a new development is a good investment?
Okay, so
That one is your
side.
Park Town is not EC lah. Yeah, but there are ECs around.
那个不是
the area.
EC 的，
Park Town is a real condo. It's like a mixed development condo.
What's an EC?
EC is executive condominium.
What's the difference? This smaller.
Okay.
Okay, so okay, you go. And it's different, because EC got MOP period, condo don't have. You know HDB MOP is 5 years, right?
Minimum occupancy.
Yes. So let's say you buy into the EC, they build, right? Then you go in and stay. You must stay for 5 years, then you can sell. Condo you buy on the day that before they start building, right? They take 3 years to build. Then upon 3 years, after the SSD is cleared, you can sell already. SSD is seller stamp duty.
Right.
So if I'm not wrong, right, EC got income ceiling, right?
Yes.
So if you exceed the income, right, you cannot buy
EC. It's like HDB. So the income ceiling is 16,000.
HDB 是什么？
HDB 14.
So how do I differentiate between like when I see like those new listings, they will straight away say that it's a EC, it's a condo.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
They'll put it out there.
They'll say it's a EC. Yeah.
One thing I want to put it out there, right, for those people that like never stay in condo before, right, there are some things to take note. Okay,
Basically, this sofa lah.
So there's a lot of things about condo, right? Like when I was a first-time condo owner, right, then I started to realize there's things like AGM, sinking fund, all that.
Wait, like the building gonna sink or something?
No. So sinking fund is like their capital. How much money they have to do like repair works or upgrades to the condo.
But then who contribute to this sinking fund?
Condo owners.
You ah.
Yeah, so
residents.
all of us, we every month have to pay a maintenance fee. You heard of maintenance fee, right? Like you use the gym and all that, right? They actually keep all this money for this type of thing as like sinking fund.
So part of the maintenance fee goes to the sinking fund.
Yeah.
So the maintenance fee that you pay will be split into two portions. One, the maintenance fund, one will be the sinking fund. So basically, maintenance fund is the day-to-day operations of the condo where how they help to maintain it.
Swimming pool cleaning.
Swimming pool cleaning, all that. But sinking fund is the 大众 one. Let's say your leaf spoiled, they need to change the whole leaf. It's not the everyday occurrence kind of thing. Yeah.
So it's very important. Actually, before you buy a condo, you need to go check out the sinking fund of that condo. You know why?
How you can check one, man?
You can straight away ask the management one.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
Okay, why this matters a lot, right? I can give you a comparison between my previous condo and this condo that I stay in. My previous condo is a boutique condo. Boutique condo just very small, below 100 units, maybe no security guard, this type of thing. Limited facilities.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the sinking fund, not a lot. I thought it would never be a matter because that was my first condo. I don't know ma. One day they say they want to repaint the entire condo estate. Then I said, paint only how expensive? Bill come is 350K for the whole condo. Where do they
pay bulletproof one?
350K. No, but it's a whole building,
Yeah,
right?
the whole building,
It's not a house,
building.
right?
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, okay lah. I thought it's nothing lah, but they are asking for funds. That's why they set up the level. Yeah, because the sinking fund cannot cover. So at the point of time, right, when they come out with this news, right, they say there may be a call for fund. Then I was like, never mind lah, I sell the house already because I'm in the process of selling the house ma. But because I still don't know, I need to go cough out the amount of money. So one household must pay about 4,000 plus. So I just pay 4,000 for a new fresh paint that I'm never going to see. I'm never going to see.
But can you say no to this kind of thing?
All you can do, right, is choose which color. And your vote may not even count. This whole thing, right, they will have AGM meetings with all the owners. And then they got like bylaws, they will go through a lot of motion. So this meeting, very talk on it. It's like all the owners, right, all will be in maybe this room or where. Then after that, they will have like motions. For example, I recently attended an AGM, right? I said I want to upgrade our gym. Yes. So when I say I want to upgrade for a gym, they will either take out for the sinking fund or they will call for fund. Then all the owners must vote. Then the bigger your house, the more vote power you have. Correct.
Share value.
Hey, that means you got quite big power lah. Last time yours was penthouse, right?
In my old one, yes.
You're the king lah.
No lah, it cannot be my one vote is override so many
of course lah.
So what is a healthy amount of sinking fund? Like $1 million?
I think it depends a lot of factors. How many units are there? How many people are staying there?
How big the development is.
How big the development? How often things break down? It's all also.
But like you said, but it's like you just buy because they haven't built yet, so you won't know.
Oh, this is different. This you're buying to something new. Now we're talking about older condos.
Older condos can ask.
Yes.
But if newer one,
Newer don't have yet, why got fund?
Nobody pay.
but the developer don't cash in a bit first.
So when they build the thing, right, then they'll have like a liability period. Then if there's anything that goes wrong, right, the developer has to go and pay.
So once the period is over, everything will be used in the sinking fund.
Yeah.
The MCST will take over.
Yeah, because people already move in already and then they will pay the
Maintenance fee.
So this MCST is a separate entity from the developer.
Different, yeah,
Correct.
MCST is
Basically, the team that manages the condo.
But if you want to know what it stands for, it's Management Corporation Strata Title. I don't know why it's so fancy. Yeah. So in certain cases, right, they may ask for special levy. But on the flip side, right, let's say during COVID, we cannot use the facilities, right? They actually drop their monthly maintenance fee by a bit. In my previous condo, after we make a very big scene, like all the owners come and call me, "Walao, COVID, we cannot use the gym, cannot use the swimming pool. You all still charge us full management, all that." So the management said, "Okay, we'll look into this and get back to you." 3 weeks later, they came back to us and say they decided to give us a $20 discount.
Wow!
So generous.
What a generous management.
So generous.
Wow, MCST.
You also have to take note that maybe sometimes they will ask for increase in levy. But that's why it's important to participate in all the AGM because they will tell you. Like I say, my previous condo, me a security guard. Then they say they want to hire a security guard. And they say everybody have to pay $50 more for this security guard. Then I was like, huh? Why?
The security guard need to have salary.
Yeah, this salary.
Correct, I understand. But the security guard working hours is 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. 1 hour.
Huh?
Every of the unit must pay
$50 more.
So I count away. I say, hey guys, I charge you all $25. I do it. At 10 p.m. I go walk my dog. I help you all see the estate.
I don't mind.
I make a scene and then a lot of people after they hear what I say, right, they vote no. We have no increase in our maintenance fee and there's no security guard. Because I think 1 hour is stupid. You give me at least like the night, I still okay. I can say no. You give me 1 hour. So if I the thief, I come at 11:30. So this current condo that super on. But what I heard about the history, right, is throughout 20 years, right, they already fire like 2 or 3. So this one has been damn good. This one morning we complain, afternoon they fix already.
Wow.
Damn on. A lot of people come to my house say, this is a 20-year-old condo. It doesn't look like because the condition very
It's 20 years old.
Yeah.
Wow, don't look like.
Yeah. Fuck you.
I've never go and ponder and think like, where like security guard come from, all this. So it's managed by this. And it's
Paid
different
by
companies
residents lah.
yeah.
Paid by
And you also must go and see like whether this one it's see the reviews that kind.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, right, there's a website like BCA. You can go BCA website and see all the resources. Right?
What is BCA?
Building something authority.
Construction.
Shit.
Okay, one more time. We act like nothing happened. Okay, we act like nothing happened. Nothing happened.
As a matter of fact, right, you can go to BCA, the website, right? There's a lot of resources out there to help you make a better choice when you buy a condo.
You're waiting for me to ask, right? What is BCA?
Building Construction Authority.
Actually, it matters a lot, you know. Whether the does a good job in maintaining the development. Because when I sell properties, right, let's say there's a condo that I sold, it's really not that old, it's 10 years old. But it's
Cui.
not very well maintained.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is, their MCS, their maintenance fund is not expensive. Every month it's about 290. It's quite a big development. But the thing is, they never really maintain, got mold on the buildings. No. So when the buyers came, the unit, there was nothing wrong. They were okay, the unit, they liked the unit. But when they walk down and look at the facilities, they say the development very badly maintained. They don't want to make an offer.
At the very least, right, your money is going into it. Might as well, you must do your proper research, make sure that your money is going into somewhere useful.
Right.
So every time we contribute to all these sinking fund and maintenance fund, so actually it does help like with the value of the condo.
It does.
enhance the value.
Oh, it enhances
for sure.
So if
sure.
you have a good, it then definitely will help you enhance the value.
Yes.
Your condo.
Because if you are a buyer, today you walk into a condo, right, and you see the development like a bit, will you want to buy or not? You don't want to buy one, yeah.
You'll be surprised that when we go see property, right, apart from the unit that we see, we also want to see all the facilities
Correct.
and all that. Right?
Yeah.
So it's or you take the lift, go down, jam, wow, finish. I'm done already. So having a good sinking fund, all these right, will really help with a good property purchase when it comes to condo.
It will enhance the value also, yeah.
But we digress. We haven't replied to this prompt me. Is it a good choice to sell his HDB and buy a new house at Tampines Parktown? I think what you want.
Parktown is basically, it's not EC lah. It's an
Condo lah.
integrated condo. It's a mega development. It's 1,000 over units.
Oh.
Yeah, it's big. It's big.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of facilities.
Yeah.
And the shopping mall is just below the condo. So basically, you just go down. That's the shopping mall. Of course, at the end of the day, right, whether if you're asking if it's a good investment, right, investment in Singapore very simple. It's all looking at prices. We're looking at numbers. We don't look at feelings, whether you want to stay in Tampines, whether you grow up in Tampines, I like this school in Tampines, whether it's a good investment, we need to look at the numbers. So Parktown, the numbers are not out yet, only the indicative value. So we really cannot say whether it's a good investment or not. But of course, if you're talking about I want to stay at Parktown, I like Tampines, then go ahead, man, by all means, because it's very nice. I mean, 1,000 over units, usually big developments the MCST maintenance fee are also lower.
Because
more people.
Right, everybody chip in, right? And then you enjoy a lot of facilities because it's a mega development. The pool is going to be much bigger, the gym is going to be much bigger.
What I like about mega developments is their facilities really quite tokong.
Yeah.
But what I don't like is have you all ever considered, let's say 1,000 units means 1,000 family. Okay, so easily 3,000, 4,000 people.
Yes.
Then with all the cars there.
Yes.
Which means it might jam. The lift might take long. So some people like mega development, some people don't. I personally don't like because I'm very impatient. Like if I go home, then there's a lot of jam and
Too
stuff like
crowded
that.
lah.
Yeah.
Depends on what problem you don't like.
Yeah, what problem you don't like. Another thing about what we just now say about sinking fund, all that, right, applies to a lot to this type of resale condos all that. But brand new condo, they got another thing, like the DLP.
Yes.
What is
the
it?
defects liability period.
You know what's that?
Yeah.
What? Say?
Defects liability period.
Okay, so DLP, right, basically is usually 1 year after the condo TOP lah.
Yes.
That means the condo build, right? After 3 years, usually they build, then the TOP. After this TOP, within that next 1 year, right, this is before the MCS take over, right?
Yes.
If there's any defects in the condo, then you have to report. Who is liable for to fix all these damages, right? It's these defects lah. It's the developer lah. Usually it's 1 year after TOP. Then developer has to come in and rectify all the problems.
Then there's also this quality assessment system called QuanQuas. It's Construction Quality Assessment System, okay? It's a quality standard in Singapore that assesses building workmanship. When you buy condo, you can see who is the developer.
Okay.
So for me, my previous condo, the developer, right, next time I see all the projects, I want to whereas this condo that I'm staying in, 20 years old, quality is still so good and everything, right? I will look for that developer. For example, one of the unique thing about my condo, there's no balcony, there's no bay window, there's floor to ceiling window. So it's like I know this developer, 不会偷工减料 one. They will really do it like that. But my previous one, first day I move in, I get the key, right? My jacuzzi 漏水啦, my tiles pop up all that. So I was like, huh? Then that time I knew owner ma. I don't know got all these concourse and all that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know all that. I just go and renovate. Then I have to tile all this damage myself.
That time if you go and report,
I got DLP.
You got the DLP.
Yeah, because it was a new condo, but I didn't know. 没有人跟我讲.
But your those tiles is not the after renovation kind, right?
It's not.
It's the developer
No,
one, right?
That day I collect key, I go in, I open the door, I said, wow, then I step, pop.
I guess you can say it's a very good safety net for homeowners lah, because in case this kind of things is probably the 他们建的时候 something went wrong not your fault.
Correct.
Because if for myself, if I don't know this knowledge, I see some people, I sure
I don't know who to call it. I will just tell myself.
Yeah, I will tell myself.
I spoil.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, I buy already. I already spent like what 500k on this. Another like 2k to fix this.
Okay, so DLP, right, usually is written in the S&P agreement. When you just bought the condo from the developer, right, there will be an S&P agreement. There they will state DLP how long. Usually it's 12 months after TOP, a year after TOP.
Oh, it varies one.
No, but most of the time, I would say 90% is usually 12 months. Yeah. So within these 12 months, let's say once TOP, you take your keys, right, you go and check your house and everything. If there are any defects, you have to report. Because let's say if you don't report, then after these 12 months, you report already.
It's your for the pocket.
Yes.
It's your problem already. Yeah. So basically, this concourse thing, right, is a system that uses a sampling approach, okay? They inspect parts of the project rather than the whole thing to save time and money. And then it gives buyers the confidence to make sure the building is well constructed. It's like a grading system, basically.
Yeah.
Like you all buy Pokemon cards also got grading, right?
Of course.
So it's the same thing.
They call it bands.
Bands.
Call it bands. So if you go onto the website and search, right, you can search for band 1, band 2, band 3, band 4, band 5, band 6. Of course, band 1 being the best. So band 1, basically, you can search based on property, which are the condos that are classified under band 1, or which are the developers classified under band 1.
So in conclusion, right, this is the advice I have, okay? Unlike buying a Pokemon card, you buy a condo is actually a lot of money involved. Okay? A lot. Of course. Like
It's so much that I cannot afford it.
So you know it's a very big investment.
Yes,
right?
of course.
Cannot anyhow buy, right?
Yeah, of
Right.
course, of course.
So make sure you do your due diligence, right? Go to like BCA, do all your research, okay? Make sure your condo management, MCSD, everything is a good one or the higher tier of the band of the concourse
of
and
course.
all that.
Okay.
Besides that, right, all these websites like BCA, concourse, all that have a lot of resources, right? You should also go do deeper research into the developer and all that.
Right.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do, I feel, is go read Google review of the condo. The one they always complain, right? I remember I bought this condo, right? I go read the Google review just to be curious. They say, my neighbor every day cook this, my neighbor every day cook that. I don't want to say that. Yeah. Then I was like, that has nothing to do with the condo, but he give 1 star. I was like, wait a minute. That's not an accurate gauge. It's very personal.
So we have to do all this research before we approach an agent.
You don't want, it's okay. If you're very rich and swimming in money, then you don't want.
You can ask your agent do for you also.
Make them do the work. And you pay money.
But not every agent is as good as Charlie and
Of course.
Kind.
Because I met a lot of agents. Charlie and Jervis, right, very ethical. Not all is like a lot of them more likely, right? They are interested to close the deal with you as soon as possible.
Correct.
So all the 坏的他讲好了. It's not all the time you meet good agents like that lah.
So if you are interested, you got promo code for your. Oh, don't have.
I've got Charlie go 13.
Not
Charlie go 13. Yeah. And since we are talking about this topic, right, all the links that we are telling you, right, we will put all on the description box below so that you can do it.
Yes, because we are nice like that.
We are nice like that. Because don't make the same mistake as me when I bought my first house. I regret so much. I hope the buyer that bought my house not watching this. Because 我讲到有天有地.
Or it could be the homeowner problem.
Oh yeah, he's the neighbor that cooked too many.
So to probably there's a lot of factors that in play for your decision whether you want to sell your HDB, buy a new condo, or is it that condo. You do all your research, right, then you will have a better answer. At the end of the day, right, whatever condo you choose to buy, right, only you know is best for you or not. Good luck with your journey and let us know how it goes.
Next one will be by AL.
Well, I wish I also have a.
Okay, so AL said, in my opinion, condos are for the ones who want to splurge extra on security and the convenience of pool and gym. But how many actually use these facilities? HDB often got funny people. Some guy stealing pram and return a few days later, or some guy stealing bra but returning it after noticing got CCTV. I feel as long as got CCTV that doesn't face opposite neighbor unit and solely for the purpose of security of the unit, I would much rather pay for this than the monthly condo maintenance fee. Owning a condo also means not much GST voucher from government. One good thing about condos though, because it's considered private, we can legally keep up to 3 dogs, which I feel is good enough allowance since I've always felt my dog needed a friend to accompany him when he's home alone. Quietly keeping 2 dogs and my direct neighbors are okay with it too. Shh.
we do it this way, okay? These are all our personal opinion.
Yeah,
Personal opinion, which is better, owning a condo, owning a HDB?
The reason why I want condo, ultimately, right, privacy. You can ask Charlie, how many times kids follow you all up to your... Correct?
Very common.
HDB. There's nobody to stop them.
Right.
And recently, he got show me, right, his security camera, right. A lot of people go there, kids, go there, press doorbell.
Oh, serious?
Keep pressing doorbell, knock, in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Serious?
Some even come with the parents, you know. But you know how stressing it is for him. And that's because he have no security, no barrier entry. My one, I sleep at peace. Nobody can come out. Even my security will reject me if it's a new security guard, they don't recognize me. It will reject me. I can't remember.
Reject you, Random King. But let's say on the non-celebrity level.
Yeah, if you're not a public figure, right? Yeah.
Then the pros and cons like that.
But this is going to sound very bad. Don't cancel me. But when I stay at my previous condo, which is around in the Seletar area, people there are a little bit weird.
Exactly.
Okay, people there are a little bit weird, and they are generally a little bit more rude, rushing, always on the phone, screaming, shouting for no reason. I really very confused there. When I moved to the east, I tell you, I left my expensive water bottle right, at the bus stop at around Sea Club area. 3 days later, I go back, it's there.
Oh my god, the rhino shoe water bottle.
Yes, the rhino. What I'm saying is nobody stole it. Whereas at my one, right, I put the umbrella there, 5 minutes, I come back, no more.
Correct, because if it's me, if I see a rhino shoe water bottle there, I sure will take one.
Okay, first of all, it's not sponsored. I'll give you an example. And then
the rhino shoe water bottle was...
The people at my east area now, right, they very cultured, relaxed, very nice. The neighbors are very civil. Any problem, they come and talk to you first, and they talk to you nicely. They don't, man, why you so noisy? On the flip side, Christmas party, right? 7 p.m. The neighbor call police. Say we noisy.
Normal lah. I think some condo also will face the same problem.
Condo, they cannot call police.
Oh, really?
They only can call the security guard.
They won't make it ugly, you see.
Right.
Again, personal experience. I don't know, is it true?
Okay.
Like that?
I mean, Charlie, have you encountered like a house that you needed to sell, but then recently like got people stealing bra, stealing pram?
Wow, actually, thank God, no way. I saw a lot of videos before. Yeah, the thing is for HDB, right, the neighbours you cannot really control, so and you don't know who comes up, ma. So let's say somebody come and steal bra, that person may not even be staying at the block. They can be staying elsewhere. One, they can come to any block they want. Let's say kids they want to play block catching or what, they just randomly choose your block to play. Then you kena, you stay. And then somebody running outside your block. You know what I mean? That's the thing about HDB lah. There are some things you cannot control compared to condos.
That's why you see Sneaky Sushi always can do haunted HDB. You ever see do haunted condo? Cannot, right?
Ghosts cannot afford to stay at condo.
But you get what I mean, right? The openness of HDB, some people like it, like kampong spirit.
Yes, it's true. Yeah.
Some people really don't like it. I think a lot of things, right, is your perspective and your preference, honestly. Some people like HDB because last time maybe got kopitiam, convenient. But to me, that's a nightmare because cockroach will come up. So you see, plus and minus, right? I like it that if I go down, I got food. But if the cockroach come out, then I don't like it already.
Personally, you prefer a condo or HDB?
Hey, to be very, very honest with you, I love HDB. But the only reason is because I got very good experience with my neighbors. Yeah, so I never kena crazy neighbors. If I kena crazy neighbors, then I'll tell you today, wow, I really don't like HDB. You know why I like HDB? Because of like what you said, the convenience. Yes, kampong spirit and the convenience. Like, let's say I go downstairs, right, the market is just opposite. Like the food. Rarely got condo like that, rarely. Yeah, but rarely. Usually HDBs are in the town centers, man. So very convenient, like supermarket, it's very, very convenient. If you ask me, like now when I look at myself when I retire, where will I be staying? I confirm stay HDB.
Oh, really?
Actually, when I old, I will stay HDB. In case I faint down at home, at least I know my neighbors will. Condo also can help. Condo, they very big on privacy. They will leave me alone. Plus, right, if I old already, right, I want to be able to access to all the supermarkets.
Yes, convenience.
Easier, man. But I disagree with what he said. Like, he's a bit too one-dimensional.
I think this one stems from the mindset of like you go condo and you pay for a lot of things. People like me, I don't really use the gym. I don't really use the pool. I don't need a security guard. Then like, hey, I'm paying for all this. We don't know about a sinking fund, all that kind of thing. They will feel like, hey, I don't need to pay for all this. I might as well just get a HDB. Like that.
But you also can see that way. Because you are paying for all this, you start to use and then you become more healthy.
When's the last time you used the jet at your condo?
Last year.
Okay, next question is by Bobo. My mother-in-law is a hoarder. It's so bad that I can't even open my living room window because it piles up with her stuff. We have a super chill curtain, but guess what? Behind it is also filled with her stuff. We have 2 fridges, but both are filled with her groceries. She overshops and there's so much expired food in there. There was once I bought yogurt bag and I literally only have a small space in the fridge and I have to choke it for the next day. I will not have any more space. To be honest, her hoarding has led to a volatile relationship with my father-in-law. Recently, he didn't win the 12 million Toto, but he said he almost won it. Then he came back and scolded my fiance and his mom. And they almost divorced because he claimed that the Cai Sen Ye cannot come into the house. Too much clutter. And that's why he didn't win the Toto. Any advice on what I can do with this hoarder situation?
Well, that's a bit of stretch. How many people are living in this house?
No, the mother-in-law.
It's a hoarder.
Ah.
Then the
Father-in-law.
Okay.
So I'm guessing she's staying with her in-laws.
You got any experience selling hoarder's house?
Okay, not like hoarders, but very messy one. Okay, so we sold this.
You managed to sell?
So.
Wow.
Then thank God the buyer came, right?
Yeah.
One view, one close.
Oh!
You want buyer only. And this person, she does live streaming. So she got a lot of products. A lot of products.
It's not those mental
No,
hoarding.
it's not. She's not
It's
hoarding.
just-
She just no choice because it's a job.
Okay.
So it's very, very messy, the house. So when I took over this thing, I was like, wow. Even when I took photos, right, we did the 360 virtual tour and took photos, right? He tell me, bro, how to declutter. He asked me this. We just took a lot of time to declutter, like shift the things out, right? Then we take the picture, then shift it back so that buyers can see how the house can look like without all this product. But the thing is, if they come on the first day, right, they still see it, They still see it there, right? Then they cannot visualize the space. Really thank God that buyer came. He really liked the unit. Apparently, he can visualize. So he said, I'm going to renovate anyway.
Yeah.
Bam! Offer, close.
Oh, hey.
Really damn hang that one. But hoarder, I really never experienced before. But I heard a lot of nightmare stories. The thing is, I don't know hoarders, right? They usually, it's a mental
It's
thing.
a mental thing. I actually got read into it before. Basically, they feel like it gives them security because they own it, right? They have a sense of security from them. It usually stems from like they scared of losing things and no sense of belonging. The funny thing, right? Hoarders will never admit they are hoarders. You know what's the terrible thing about that? It's not about the hoarding as much. It's a fire hazard.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's our is your neighbors sang, left, right, all gonna burn down.
And then if you want to throw away their thing, they'll get angry.
They will get angry. And it's very difficult to deal with this stuff. And it's even more difficult for the family. They don't see it as a problem. They say, you throw away this is a waste. Next time we buy again. Expire, never mind, can eat. Wow, this time. It's a very unfortunate problem. But I don't know 这种打给town council 这种会不会有帮助吗？
Yeah, actually, I really don't know. This one, I really don't know. I don't think they can do anything. Because at the end of the day, it's their house, man.
But if it's a fire hazard, how?
Town council cannot come and say, hi, this is a fire hazard. I'm going to throw away your PS5 or something like that.
I don't know whether hoarders know what they are keeping because they keep so many things.
Exactly.
Right? Let's say if I secretly go and take and throw away, right? Would they know?
You can, but as you
get
throw away,
lesser.
right,
Yeah.
they will fill up the space.
Is there any way for them, like therapy?
Really therapy, psychiatrist or
therapy
that. Or if you dare to do it, just throw away
Just
everything.
throw away.
Send them to a short holiday, come back home. But I don't know how the argument will be. Don't take my advice. No,
that's damn good advice, guys. Just take it when they fail, right? Then you quote Ryan.
No.
我一定对他是 Redo Kick
I don't do this show, yeah.
I don't know why you all will fight for the 财神爷啦. This one,
Hey, come on
a bit too much
They say the Cai Sen Ye cannot come in because too many things blocking it.
Because this guy don't deserve Toto. And the next question is by Min. 薄荷.
Okay.
What's for
Min ah.
Mint.
MINT.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called 薄荷.
In Chinese?
Yeah.
Since when your Chinese so good?
Wait, what?
I don't even know.
I'm really shocked. I don't know.
薄荷汤 what?
I also don't know. actually.
可以很容易. Okay, unpopular opinion. But why do people think that staying in landed is equivalent to being rich? Yes, there's rich people staying in landed, but some landed I see are quite run down already. And it's cluttered and honestly look quite shabby. I think it's because it's been passed down for generations. Is it still worth the money to buy a landed these days? Considering the monthly expenses, the maintenance costs. But the good thing is that it is forever mine. Don't need to return to government.
Not necessarily
That's
forever
not true
yours.
also lah. Yeah.
Got 99 years later. I think you buy shabby got value in the sense that if you want to rebuild. Yeah, I do agree because a lot of last time property prices cheap. In the 60s, 70s, one landed, right, like 60, 70,000.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
Landed, right, got a few different types. So
Yep.
there's GCB, the normal landed,
Yep.
where it is the design is different. Then there's one where the whole stretch is the same one.
Cluster
Oh,
house.
cluster
It's called
house.
house. So
yeah.
these are the three different types, is it?
No lah, still got semi-D,
Correct.
got terrace, got HDB landed 都有.
So all these are not freehold lah.
Some. There are 99 years one also.
There's also one I heard that's 999.
Have also.
Yes.
That one's almost like freehold lah. How to spend 999 years using it?
But I think a lot of these are landed, right? Even though it's shabby or that, I think they're really sitting on a gold mine. It will worth quite a bit from the time they bought to now. Ma.
Yeah.
So in our generation now, is it possible for us to own a landed? And then even if we do own a landed, is it worth it?
For
I
me,
think,
no.
you don't think so? I don't like
because I don't plan to have kids, so I don't plan to stay. But from an investment point of view, I think our thing is good because it's a land. But what you
Usually-
think? Yeah, we should hear from a property.
Okay, for own stay purposes, let's not talk about investment lah. For own stay purposes, I think it's very nice. Let's say you're raising kids, right? Then it can become like a multi-generational home. But of course, if you're talking about those like a bit very, very old landed, right? Of course, if you buy the land, you naturally have to rebuild one. Then you at least have to spend like $1-2 million.
On your own dime.
That means on top of the land that you're paying for, you need to top up $1-2 million to go and rebuild the whole thing to be a very nice place.
You only see the whole house build finish maybe 2-3 years later. Like.
Then after that got the DLP.
Actually, good question because lender actually right, everything there's no MCST right. 什么东西漏水 all you 自己搭
This person, he or she asked, right?
Yeah.
It's like, usually private is related to rich people.
I think generally everybody will think that way lah. You know, I mean, of course, the older generation when they buy the landed, right, it's very, very cheap. But now, let's say you want to buy landed, right, you definitely have to be a certain kind of rich lah. Because the land is, let's say, it's 1,500 or 2,000 square foot land, you go in times the per square foot, right, it's easily 3-4 million one. Yeah.
So even all the shabby one, right? You see it's like one old lady staying there with a lot of cluttered stuff, right?
Yeah.
She's sitting on 3-4 million at the very least. Personally, I don't like to stay landed because, right, I'm a ding couple no kids don't plan to have kids
what?
Dual income, no kids.
Oh wow, it's the above 30 years old you saw that.
No, oh my god, this is Gen Z language.
Buying a landed is too much space for us already. It's like parts of the house I won't even get to see from day to day.
But is there still a demand for landed in Singapore?
For sure lah.
For sure lah.
Of course.
But I heard there are some experts who rent out the entire landed.
Yeah.
Company
There
pays
is a-
benefit.
Yeah.
To relocate the whole family so it's a benefit.
Even GCB people rent out, but crazy one can go up to 80k per month, 100k per month.
If I'm not wrong, the Fujian Bang is all rent GCB.
yeah, because you cannot buy ma.
Is that a-
Have you been
gang
in Singapore?
The money laundering one
$1 billion money.
the one pictures.
Okay, next question is by Dylan. It's not nothing to do with property or what.
Then what is he doing here?
He want to ask, do you seek feng shui advice prior to renovating your house or buying a house?
No lah.
两个都没有了，
No.
你不管了
But your buyer got like say, I'm going to call my feng shui guy to come down.
Hey, of course.
Oh, really?
So they'll take the compass, then they'll go and measure the
serious?
degree. Then they'll send to the.
Then you're just standing there waiting for the guy to measure.
Yeah. Then like sometimes they really like the unit, really like everything perfect already. The door, the degree off a little bit, the feng shui master say cannot buy. They don't buy.
I really don't buy.
The thing is, it's something that they really believe in lah. Because sometimes maybe it worked for them for their previous house, right? Let's say they buy a certain facing, then they see what, you know. Yeah, then who are we to say that it doesn't work, you know?
But I heard there are some real estate agencies out there where they have like feng shui classes for agents. One.
No way!
No,
Really?
serious,
I didn't know that. Okay, I really
a
don't
bit
know.
only, a bit. When you try to sell a house, then you
Yeah.
like, if the person interested in feng shui, you can say like
Yeah.
conversational
Understand,
stuff.
I think it's a niche
Yeah, very niche
clientele lah. But I don't believe. But however,
You don't believe?
I don't see feng shui for my house.
Wait, you really don't believe?
I don't believe.
I thought you believe.
No, but wait, let me explain. Can I finish my story?
Okay.
Okay. So I believe.
But I really thought you believe.
Even if you don't believe, right, it will still affect. So that time my house, old house, the monthly is 0404. Well, I noticed Chinese family don't like. In my mind, right, when I bought, right, I feel like, if the Chinese family not pantang, right, it won't affect, right, but people will sure buy one. But it affects those people that believe, So it really affect. Even though I don't believe, it affect my sale. Very strangely to the Indian family, right, it's a good number. When I asked Friendster, he say it's a good number. He say sound like 恭喜恭喜 in certain dialect lah. But because of all these factors, right, it will affect like your pool of buyers. That's why I say, right, you buy a house, right, if you know that it's not going to be your final house or whatever shit, right, you better think through, do all your due diligence and research. Then you know that next time easy to sell or not.
You got to check the house number.
Oh, for my buyers?
Yeah.
I do lah.
You do
Because
check,
sometimes they tell me, they say they got certain requirement on this, so I will check before I arrange the viewing for them to go down and see. Because so not to waste their time. Usually, Indian clients, they will check
really?
numbers.
is it?
They will check like unit number total add up must be what?
Yeah. That's why.
Usually. Okay, but you all believe or not?
I don't know. Like what you say, rather be safe. And there's no harm in
The harm is when you renovate, they say cannot do this, cannot do
they
that.
check.
Yeah.
You will be shacked.
But then there's the ID problem. Right?
Then another harm is, let's say you really like this house, really like
then he say
the vet. He said cannot.
The price good, everything good.
Everything good. Like your
Dream
wife,
house,
right? Yeah, your wife saying, wow, I really like this, I want to stay here, I want to stay here. Feng Shui master say cannot.
I listen to my wife. Ultimately, I stay with my wife, not the feng shui master.
You know you hire one, you need to pay, right?
Of course close.
Then go see the house, then decide not to buy. You still have to pay the feng shui master, right? Then you keep repeating. Oh, you rich, yeah?
No choice. Unless like I don't know, maybe the agents can do for us.
Nobody ask me.
Nobody else. You don't look like you can ever afford. Okay, so
Don't believe. I don't like restrictions. I want to have freedom. If like let's say the feng shui come, then he say like, hey, actually like that not good. I would think so.
Actually, sometimes maybe if you don't hire better.
yeah. If the feng shui master come in, right, and say like, your house cannot put any Pokemon card.
Wow, I will slap him.
Let's not say those people that really believe feng shui really change their whole life, right? If it works for you, it works for you lah.
Actually, don't believe.
I thought we start with there, then we go there, then after he say right.
Ryan, how about you?
But personally, I don't believe it.
Actually,
I'm starting to believe it after going on that.
Hey, that's all for our episode. Hey.
okay, we hope we answer all your questions, and if you got more questions, maybe we'll do a part 3. Or maybe he's scared to come already. I have to say that if you're looking for a property agent, please look for Charlie and Jervis. I think there has been the best agent that I ever used. And if you're looking to buy condo or all that, apart from using them, right, do your own research. Go to BCA website, go to Conquest and see all your developers, do all your research before you throw in this huge sum of money to buy your house. So be sure to follow all our socials. Follow Charlie on his socials and click here for more, click here what, and cut to the bloopers. 3, 2, 5. In conclusion,
You just say 3, 2, 5.
sorry.
I thought you purposely.
Hey guys, I'm really very sick.
3, 2, 5.
I forgot.
40 number.
Sorry.
3, 2, 5. No, cannot 40 number.
Oh, yeah, one more number.
What?
Okay, 3, 2, 5, 1.
I thought you purposely. Like, I confused.
Sorry. Okay,
This
3,
question too
2,
long, that's why.
1. Action. Okay.